Why don't you tell me who did?
I don't know who did. How would I know?
Well, because if it's not Casey and it's not George.
Really?
Then who?
Then who else could it have been?
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't my case.
Who found the body in the woods?
Oh, no. You're not going to say the meter reader.
Oh, you may remember her from one of the most famous trials in modern history. Of course, we're talking about the O.J. Simpson trial. And now, prosecutor Marcia Clark is turning her talents to a new show on A&E called Marcia Clark Investigates the First 48. She joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Carly. How are you?
I'm excited to chat with you. I had a chance to watch that episode. I believe it's almost 2 hours. I was captivated. I was only going to watch a little bit of it for time purposes before our interview, and it was so captivating that I sat and watched the entire thing. I can't wait to watch the other episodes. And what's interesting...
Oh, yay, I'm so glad.
Well, and I thought I knew everything, of course, here in Florida about the Casey Anthony trial. And what I love about what this show does, what you're able to do, is I feel like you bring up new things that we had not heard of yet.
Right, exactly. That was the point of doing it, is that we looked at these cases and said, you know, a lot of people are unsatisfied with these verdicts. For example, Casey Anthony, Robert Blake, but maybe the jury got it right. I mean, and how do we know if we don't go back and actually walk in the footsteps of the investigators, reinvestigate the case, let the evidence lead us down the path that it does, and see where we wind up. And in Casey Anthony, we did uncover really shocking new evidence. I think it might have actually changed the verdict. It's very possible that it would, because it was really compelling to me. But that's the point of doing this, is to uncover new things and really deliver the truth to you, to the audience, to let them see an unbiased examination of all of the evidence. Everybody deserves the truth about these cases.
Well, and what's interesting, because I love all these shows, 48 Hours, I mean, there's several shows like these, but what I think is unique about you is your perspective. And I love just how we showed that little clip of you interviewing, you know, one of the prosecutors in the case. I mean, I just feel like you have a different perspective and kind of a different level of authority than just, let's say, you know, a reporter doing these interviews.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you know, I spent 14 years as a defense attorney, 14 years as a prosecutor, so I've kind of been on both sides of these criminal lawsuits, and it does give me, you know, that experience helps inform my opinion, also helps me to know how to investigate these cases and what to look into and where to push with the witnesses. And yes, you definitely do get my point of view about things as I uncover more evidence in every case, every step of the way. I think about, what does this mean? What does that mean? And connect the dots for you.
Yeah. You know what I wanted to get your perspective on, too, is I think it's so interesting that, especially with the O.J. trial, certainly the Casey Anthony trial, there's a lot of attention, maybe bad attention, on what the media puts out there, right? It taints the jurors. It has a hand in what people think, what the public thinks about these trials. Here you, though, you're now doing your own show and kind of somewhat... You're in the media now. So what is your thought on the media's involvement with these super high profile cases?
So I think the media can have a very important role to play if it takes that role seriously and performs it responsibly. And that's something that has kind of been an abiding importance to me back when I was doing trials and I was a prosecutor, for example. It really was upsetting to me that some lawyers who were not trial lawyers did not understand rules of evidence, were talking on these television shows and misinforming the public. And I thought, look, I think it's great that lawyers get on TV to explain what's going on in a courtroom so people can understand what they're seeing. But it's really bad if they're not telling you correctly, because they don't know what they're talking about. And so I've always found it I think it's a very important thing to have people talking about these cases who know what they're talking about and present the truth to the public in a way that's unbiased and truthful and also well-informed.
As we wrap up here, is there any one particular of these episodes or these cases that you covered that just kind of completely turned your boat upside down and thought, whoa, you know, is there one in particular?
I can't. It's like picking a favorite child. I can't do it. They're all fascinating to me, every single one of them. So yeah, you'll see what I mean when you hopefully watch the series. It really, every single one of them has these twists and turns in it, and it's they're fascinating cases.
That's why we cover them, right? That's why they're those high-profile cases. Again, congratulations on the success. I'm going to be tuning in to the rest of the series, which again is on A&E. So thank you so much for taking some time with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Been a pleasure.